Mahapavit rightly said, our headquarters are in Switzerland, but we've got big campuses in both Barcelona in Spain and Munich in Germany. So if you see at the bottom, we've got Barcelona, Geneva, Montreux, Munich, and online. So across all 5 campuses, we have probably about 3,000 students. The biggest campus is in Barcelona in Spain, where we have 1,200. Munich, we've got 700. And then in Switzerland, we have about 350 across the 2 campuses. Some of the, just in terms of the agenda for the presentation today, I'll give you a presentation on EU Business School, the team we have, the team that's helping our applicants from Asia in terms of their questions, their queries, and putting the application together. Obviously, we partner as well with Gostudyfree and with Think Glory, so they will be the support, the first point of contact with you. I'll give you an overview of EU Business School, the campuses we have, and then also look specifically at the career services, the job placements, some of the USPs, what makes EU Business School and what makes Munich specifically an attractive option for you as a potential student. We'll look at the safety measures on campus, obviously, given the current health crisis, which has affected us all around the globe. And then we'll look at really the DNA of the business school, which is about leadership. It's about creating transformational experiences for our students to ensure that they don't just have theoretical knowledge, but really are able to build a network and develop soft skills. These are essential for anyone that really wants to flourish and start a career abroad in Europe. Then we'll look at the programs, our bachelor program specifically, as well as our MSc and our MBA programs. Then we'll look at the tuition fee, the scholarship opportunities which are available, the flexible intakes we have given the current climate worldwide, and then we'll end with a Q&A session. So in terms of the in terms of the regional team, we have myself top left. I've been working with EU Business School for 10 years now, and have had the opportunity and the privilege to travel a lot, especially to India. I've actually been to India probably more times than Rohit. That's a joke. Rohit's from Chennai, but I've been to India many times, maybe 30 plus times, to different cities. I know I've probably been to all 4 corners, the tier 1 cities. So I'm very familiar with with downtown Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Coimbatore, Kerala. So it's really from a place of how can I say, from many years of experiencing talking to students like yourselves, that I can answer questions, and Rohit can answer any questions you have. Kenneth is my colleague on the right. He oversees with the recruitment, student recruitment into Southeast Asia. Tu below as well as part of the team. She's based in Vietnam. And then I've got 2 colleagues that are based in India. One bottom left, Mr. Gopi Krishna, who's certainly joining us for the session today. He is will be a great source of information and support during the application process. He works closely with Mahapavit and his team. And then Shani is based in Mumbai, and she is part of the recruitment team as well for India. So moving on to EU Business School, this is why you're here. We've really got a European identity. We're looking at the 4 campuses in 3 countries. Many of you will be specifically interested in Germany, given the fact that you're attending today. We will spend more time focusing on Munich, on Germany, and on the programs at this campus than the other ones. We will quickly go over the campuses in Geneva and Montreux, as well as in Barcelona as well, because you may be interested in the options there as well. In Barcelona, we have 2 sites, 2 campus locations. The one on the left is our bigger and more recent campus. We've had it for about 3-4 years now. On this campus, you're looking at about 800 to 1,200 students, which are regularly on and off campus, taking their studies there. It's been fully refurbished recently. And I think what's exciting about this campus is its location. It's on a high street in Barcelona, great access to the city, not far from the beaches and the touristy part of the city as well. So we're getting great feedback from the students that are enjoying this campus. The one on the right is our historical campus. We've been there for 20 plus years. And it's a fantastic location as well, in a more affluent, upmarket part of a residential part of the city in Barcelona. Our campuses in Switzerland include the one on the left, and that's where I personally work. We recently moved into this campus. We have about 120 students there, right close to downtown Geneva, to the financial sector, where the banks and the trading companies are located in Switzerland, close to the banks of the River Rhone. So excellent, an excellent experience for anyone who wants to study business or finance or international relations. So that's in Geneva. Montreux is a more like a boutique experience. Montreux is famous for its jazz festival. It's famous for the cultural aspects. Freddie Mercury, famously from the band of Queen, he he spent some of his time in Montreux, and there's actually a statue of him there. There's a real cultural experience there to be had in Montreux. Our campus was built by where we currently located. It was actually house of Napoleon Bonaparte, and so it's got a long history. It's a beautiful environment and a great place to study business. Munich. So this is really why we're here today. This is probably why you've tuned in. So we will talk to you a little bit about the campus. And to start off, I'm going to ask maybe Rohit to give us a tour of the campus, and then we'll take it from there. Thanks, Rohit.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And it's been a pleasure knowing you for the few years I've been here. And I must say, I can attest to that. TU Business School has been really helpful for me. So one of the first things that I thought about when I finished my bachelor's and few years of work experience was thinking about what to do next. Should I do an MS or an MBA? And then I figured out I need to do an MBA if I want to scale up my career. And the best place to do it would be in Europe. So then I started researching on things about where to study in Europe, what to do. And then I met Nick, and I was really blown away by what UBS offers. And next thing I know, I took a flight and I came here to Munich, and the rest is history. So let me just show you how Munich is, how my experience has been so far here. And so let's go. And the first thing you'll always see when you come here is, Nick, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see it perfectly, yeah.
Awesome. So all that you see right now is the heart of Munich. This is where the best things happen in life. And that's where the Oktoberfest is. So just over the trees over there is where the Theresienwiese is. That's the place where the Oktoberfest takes place. Millions of people come here during the Oktoberfest, and it's just a bustling town and city. And you can notice that this is where the university is. As you can see, it's a wonderful campus. You have a few buildings over here, a few offices, a few residential areas. The number 28, which is the address of the college, 28 Theresienwiese. That's all that you need to remember. And then you'll be wondering, okay, this looks like such a posh area. What about it? So do I have enough transportation opportunities and so on? Yes. The main thing about this is that you are in the hub of the city, and you have all kinds of transportation options. You have the S-Bahn, the U-Bahn, which are basically the metro stations, the underground ones, and the suburban trains. You have lots of buses and a lot of trams as well. So no matter where you are in the city, even if you're staying a little farther away, you can travel and reach the campus within 30 to 45 minutes. Because when I came here new as a student, I was staying a little farther away from the city center because it's kind of cheap. And as a student, you want to save as much cash as possible. And that was kind of a better option. And with the student discounts that you get from the university for your train tickets, you can pretty much afford a good place and travel as and when you need it. And then now that you've seen that what the campus looks like from the outside, I'll just give you a tour about how does it look in the inside. So I just walk in and the door automatically opens, which is kind of sweet. And you just come in, and on the left is where the university main campus building is. So you can look at the sprawling campus. You have a big hallway. You have a lot of monitors over here and a nice, beautiful Christmas tree. Because it's the Christmas season, we just wanted to keep the festive mood going on. So we just had a very good Christmas tree. The students and the staff all decorated this few weeks back. We have few presents. Maybe I might even take one. And we have a few brochures over here. And this is where the information desk is. We have our academic assistant sitting over here. So in case you have any queries or anything, you can always just pop in and you can ask them the questions and get it solved. And on the right, you have information that is displayed on the television monitors over here. Usually we have all our classroom timetable over here, the schedules, because the exams are going on right now. There are no exam schedules, but you have all the important information. Like for example, meet our alumni events, join our career center. So anything that will help you with your daily activities here as a business student and for you to progress your career, any job opportunities will always be shown there, which is pretty much what you needed, right? And then, so next that you're thinking about what is going on over here with the coronavirus situation, what is the university doing to take care of it? I can just show you a few things of that. So as and when you walk in over here, the first thing that we do is we urge students to use a disinfectant. We have an automatic dispenser that dispenses the liquid. And you have important information over here to use your hand sanitizer regularly, to wash your hands, don't gather in the halls. We have our security personnel over here who make sure that students adhere to the conditions that were set up. All the rules and regulations are followed. We also have important demarcations on the floorings to show where you can stand. Like for example, you can stand over here, you wait in the line, you keep a safe distance, and all these are monitored. And speaking about monitoring, we also have a thermal camera over here, which records everyone who enters from the main gate. So that in case you have a high temperature, you're stopped immediately, you're checked if it's okay. If it was just that you have a hot cup of coffee in your hand, then you're let go. But if maybe you travel from somewhere and you just came into the university without knowing that you need to quarantine, the security personnel will take care of things for you and they'll help you go back into quarantine. So while we are walking into the campus, we have a huge bustling campus over here. There's students all the time. We make sure that the students adhere to the 1.5 meters distance protocol, so they don't walk continuously in a group. We have our academic assistant's office over here and the staff office over here. So in case you have any questions, you can always meet them. If you can't pop in just like that for a meeting, you can always just take an appointment through an email system as well. And now that you look at things, maybe I need to show you something that you were really interested in, which is the classrooms. One of the main classrooms over here when you enter is a Geneva classroom. You might be thinking, yeah, we are in Munich. What is he talking about Geneva? Well, we renamed all our classrooms in such a way that it resembles city names. So here it's Geneva. We have Montreux over there. We have Barcelona. We have Paris. We have all different kinds of classrooms. And when you walk in, this is a mid-sized classroom that we have, which can house approximately 30 students in the usual go. But with the current pandemic conditions and the restrictions that we made sure that only one student sits in each place and they're demarcated where they can sit. So a student can sit here and the next student sits there. So we kept it in a zigzag pattern, and the class strength has also been kept at a minimum so that students are not crammed in. So the academic team has made sure that there are multiple classrooms. So if you're doing an MBA program, all the 150 students might not be in your class. So there might be 15 students per class set up in each different classroom, and they have their own schedules as well, so that you don't have to intermingle with too many people in one go, and the university doesn't have too many people crammed in as well. In spite of having a bustling campus, it makes it better that there are lesser students in the classroom personally, because what I understood was that when you are in a classroom, you want to get that individual attention from the professor. And that really helps over here. So the professor can take a class over there. You are 10, 15 students, you sit over here, you listen to him. The classes are taught on the smart board where presentations are shown. So it makes you it gives you the business vibe. It gets you ready for what happens in the real business world. As someone who was working for 5 years in an aviation field, I knew what it was to be in a company, to be working for so long, and what to expect out of an MBA program. And I can safely say that UBS has actually surpassed my expectations and has given me more tools to carry so that I can make sure that I have a better career ahead. While I'm in the classroom, I have to talk about what all the professors do. So the professors not only just stand and teach you from presentations or just give you a pen and paper and write examinations over here, but what they make you do is have group presentations, individual presentations, and you need to write academic research articles for your exam. It's not going to be just a simple question answer session, because let's face it, just memorizing things is not going to help us. So when doing group presentations, you are intermingling with students from different nationalities, different cultures, which really helps. For example, for me, when I came here, my classmate was from USA, one classmate from the South Africa, from Australia, and one from Pakistan as well. So I was able to meet people from different origins, what their thought processes are, what the business ideologies are. That makes you sure that you can realign your thinking as well and grow individually as a person too. And I thought that was really helpful for me. So now that you've seen the classrooms, this is not just a single size classroom. There are classrooms bigger than this, twice as big as this. Those classrooms are usually used for when we have guest speaker sessions. One of the major advantages is that we have a guest speaker session, which happens almost every week. So we have had the Belgium CEO of Google. We have had people coming from Starbucks. We have had people coming from Manchester City. I can't wait to tell you how exciting that session was. When the CEO of Manchester City actually came and spoke to us about what happens in the sporting industry, what things go on. I think that's what sets the university aside from the rest, because you're able to network with people from such high positions. When you're meeting someone from Google, who is the CEO of the Belgium region, you literally get a very good contact who you could reach out to in LinkedIn and hopefully land a job or an interview at some point or the other. Because most jobs are done only through networking. That's what I understood when I was over here. Because my friends, my colleagues, and me, when we started networking through LinkedIn, through our networking sessions in the college, the speed dating sessions that we had during April of 2020, and also when you go for campus placements, it really helps you to network. You never know when a job offer is going to come up, because most companies don't just simply put up a job offer in LinkedIn or in job sites. They want to hire internally. They tell their own employees, and their employees tell their friends, their colleagues to apply for it. And that's how it works. And now coming back, so you see the campus over here, and I'll always take you to the coolest place, the most happening place, which is our social room. The social room is usually filled with all the students over here. And usually all of us come after our part-time job in the morning. We come, we sit, we do our assignments, we do our reports, we talk about what to do for the next class, what's going on in life, how's India, how's this, that. But we also sit and ponder about what to do next. And this is a major chilling place. We usually have couches and things like that over here. But right now we have restricted to the number of students who can sit. And we also have a few eatables over there in the vending machine too. I usually take the M&Ms and maybe a few Kinder and some snacks. It's not a bad deal. So we always sit over here. We look at the campus from outside. So if you just look at this, you'll just realize the campus is not just one side, but it is a huge campus. You have a double side, the other side as well, where you have more classrooms over there, more administrative offices. And this place, it's because it's winter, it doesn't look so great, but it usually snows over here and it's completely covered in snow. And you would definitely love it when it is summer too, when there's a lot of greenery over here. And also in winter too, when there's a lot of snow. But
so how do you keep warm, Rohit? What's the temperature in Munich now?
I think right now it's 2 or 3 degrees. I got used to it. As someone who's from the south of India, who's only used to 3 seasons, which is hot, hotter, hottest. And I came here, it was so cool.
Great.
But then you get acclimatized to it.
Yes. And there's a nice student lounge, isn't there? I mean, I don't think it's open at the moment, but it's on the other side.
Now, but
yeah.
So you just walk around from this side to that side. You have a huge
Yes.
lounge please, where we also have a meet the leader session as well. When one of our former alumni came and he spoke to us, Kiran Jadhav, I hope you remember him. He's
Yes.
working in Huawei. Yeah, so when he came and spoke, we had a session over there.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. It was a laid back session. And he gave us tips about what to do next, what about connections and things like that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point on that guy. So for all the listeners, Kiran Jadhav is a really great example. He's a young guy who came from Maharashtra, from one of the first people in his village to study abroad. And he's gone on he did some babysitting and he did some odd jobs during his studies. And I actually went to Munich a couple of times and I spoke to him and he said, Nick, it's really tough. It's cold. I'm battling a little bit to get going. And I said to him, listen, Kiran, stick it out, do your studies, focus on your studies, but also keep looking for the jobs. You come with an engineering background. I'm sure you can find something. And he's really making everyone proud now. He's doing very well at Huawei, the Chinese mobile manufacturer, and he's working on 5G technology. And I see him very active on LinkedIn, and he seems to be doing really well in his career. So that's to encourage everyone to have a little bit of grit. When you get to Europe, it's important to be able to manage the cold, manage a bit of change, and be ready to adapt, because it's an exciting future you can have.
Definitely.
Great. So thanks, Rohit.
I think with the class schedule that we have as well, where if you're an MBA student, you just do 3 hours of class a day. Gives you a lot of time to go venture out, go for part-time jobs too.
Yes. Right. So I'll leave Rohit from the tour, but he'll join me for the presentation as well. We'll continue with the slides. So I'm going to share my screen. I don't know if Rohit, if you can see my screen, maybe you could just confirm.
Yeah, I can look at the screen.
Okay, now. Super. So yes, the campus, you got a feel for it. It is very close to the city center, 5 minutes away from Marienplatz, which is the by public transit. It's a really great campus on that front. So let me see if I can go to the next slide. So this is really what we wanted to focus on. Most of you that are attending this session today are looking at investing in your future, thinking, what can I do next? And where should I go? Which city should I choose? Which country? We really want to underline how effective our career services department have been in landing jobs for students, especially MBA, MSc students in Germany. So since 2019, we have 93 MSc MBA students that found employment through the career department. Many more have found jobs by applying through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a big thing in Europe, and certainly something we'll assist you in developing. 95% of those students are working in Germany, and the vast majority in the Munich area. 3.3% is the unemployment rate in Germany, and in Munich. It's quite important to underline that in different parts of Germany, the unemployment rate is not the same. You're looking at a higher unemployment. Munich itself is seen as a magnet for people that are wanting to for career development or just looking for career opportunities. Munich is a real magnet in that sense. So 3.3% unemployment. I was doing some more research about the city. I know that the service sector is a huge part of the economy in Munich. The GDP per capita is higher than any other German city or the major cities. So it's an affluent city. Rohit said earlier that finding the accommodation and some things were quite expensive. I would say what's very important to understand is when you're looking for jobs, if you're living in a different part of Germany where perhaps the accommodation is a little less expensive, you do limit the possibilities of finding jobs. If you're in the city of Munich, you invest in yourself, you invest in your future, you have a much higher possibility of landing a better job and being employable, being a choice of a future employer. That we try to indicate just by the average salary. You can Google it yourself. The average salary in, white collar salary in Munich is averaging 4,200 euros. So if you put that into INR, it's a very competitive salary anywhere in the world. If you look in Europe, that salary is very, very competitive. So this is for graduates that are coming out from our MBA or MSc program. I would say for the bachelor level students, they could look at a salary if they graduate of 2,700 and up. So this is the minimum expectation for a salary in Germany, but in Munich specifically. Other parts of Germany, it's very different. If you were to travel and to study in Berlin, the salaries may be, your expectation will be a lot lower than what you can expect in Bavaria or in Munich specifically. Which are the strongest sectors? Automotive, the mobility sector. You've got startups like Flixbus, which is European-wide now. You've obviously got the very famous companies like BMW. There's Audi, which is not far away. Then you've got a lot of high-tech companies as well. A lot of startups, a lot of green companies as well in terms of renewable energies. I've got a friend, one of my best friends from South Africa. He's actually working in a renewable energy and fuel cell technology as an engineer. He came in as a foreigner and now he's working in the city of Munich. And then IT. This is a huge thing in Munich. If you do some research on the city, you'll see that IT engineers, it's the city that employs the highest number of IT professionals as well in and around the Munich area. So what are the career services we look at? Firstly, to give you some stats, numbers always speak. So within 6 months, our students are finding employment. I'm sure Rohit will agree, but many more are doing, internships and jobs within a few months of actually even arriving in Germany. Maybe on that point, do you have any examples, Rohit, of some friends of yours or some people, some colleagues from India that have found jobs?
Yeah. So first and foremost, any question that comes up is, will I get a part-time job while I'm studying here? The answer is a resounding yes. Almost every student that I've known, all my friends, all of us have done some kind of part-time job or the other. For example, I was doing my part-time job with an aviation company over here. I've had friends who have been doing part-time jobs as an intern with Dell, with Huawei, with Siemens, and with Allianz. And these internships and part-time jobs more or less transfer into a full-time job. Because you're already working 20 hours a week, you know the in and outs of the German job market, you know how the company works. So they're more likely to hire you as a full-time employee inside. And I think that's a major advantage. So once you come here, once you apply for a part-time job and you get in, your life is kind of settled for a while.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, we've got really a lot of examples, and Rohit and myself would be happy to share those examples in a different environment if we have a one-to-one session with any of you. But other than that, just some of the key facts. You're looking at 3,000 connected to our LinkedIn page. 27,000 students have actually finished their degree with EU. We've got an alumni network of 27,000+. 20% of our students actually go on to start their own companies. Many more come from family businesses. So what you're getting with EU Business School is a network. The DNA of the business school is entrepreneurship. It's about industry. It's about leadership. And this is felt through and through, from the faculty which teach, the choice of faculty which you have. It's business practitioners. It's not people that are pure academics, but people that have either run their own companies or started multiple companies or have worked in leadership roles in multinationals in different countries. So you really will, you may have studied, human resource management or finance or marketing or something like that in India. You will have a different experience in Europe and at EU Business School because naturally the group around you plus the professors. 96% of our students are being placed through our institution. 51 companies were visited in between 2019 and mid-2020. Obviously, the pandemic ensured that we would go online for the conferences, and we'll talk a little bit about that soon. 383 jobs were posted on our job teaser platform. So you as an individual at EU Business School, as a student, you'll have access to jobs that are posted online. Between 60 and 150,000 euros per annum is the salary range. So our career services, we've touched on quite a bit with Rohit, and we have quite a few slides to cover. So we won't spend much time on this, but other than the fact that soft skills are important. So when you arrive, my encouragement to you would be to connect with Amrita Dixit, who is our career advisor. She's actually from Bangalore or from Maharashtra originally. I might be mixing them up, but I met her in Bangalore once, and she used to work for Tata Motors. And now she is using that experience from India, as well as her experience now in Europe, to guide our students in terms of getting them ready for their job interviews, for their cover letters, for their CVs. We also run workshops and different sessions throughout the term to ensure that you are ready to adapt and are ready for the local job market. Where are our students working? These brands are well known. They're some of the most famous companies in the world. We didn't just put them there for design's sake or to make the presentation look impressive. These are where our students are currently working. So if you had to ask me who's working at Mercedes-Benz, I can tell you it was Arpit Jain, a student, an Indian student who worked for Daimler Mercedes-Benz. We've had 4 or 5 Indian students. Kiran Jadhav was one of them, who worked at Huawei and is working at Huawei. Many students working at Allianz, which is the big insurance company worldwide. It's a global insurer. Siemens, obviously many students have gone on to work there. I would underline that Microsoft and Google have their European headquarters in Munich. This is important for any engineers that are IT engineers or programmers that are keen to get a foot in the door. Infosys, a big Indian company as well, located in Munich. Then we've got some smaller ones as well, that like Steelcase, I believe that's also in Munich itself. So you're looking at a wide sector of IT, mobility, automotive. These are really the industries which are recruiting our students. Events and networking. I'll let Rohit talk a little bit about these 2 events quickly.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Sure.
I know I've seen a lot of questions in the chat column as well, and a lot of my friends and prospective students to UBS have asked this. Do we have any campus placements? So coming from India, we are used to having campus placements in our bachelor's and master's. It is kind of a new topic when you come abroad. Most universities, I would say a majority of them don't offer anything as such. You have to start looking for jobs yourself and so on. But at EU Business School, with our integrated campuses in Barcelona, Munich, Switzerland, you already have a talent day in place. So last year in 2020, the talent day was set up in Barcelona. So students from all different campuses can go there. They can attend the talent day. The multiple companies that come to hire students to post jobs, you sit for the interviews. If they like you, they hire you straight away. They also offer full-time or part-time jobs as well, or even internships. And it also serves as a very good networking session. If you're a sports enthusiast like me who's doing sports management, your first job would be to Lausanne for the I Work in Sport. It is exclusively for EUBS students. So students from Barcelona, Munich, and Switzerland, they go for this once in a year event where companies like Nike, Adidas, Juventus, all these companies come there to hire students. One of my colleagues, I think I just told you about my friend who's from USA. He landed an interview with Juventus and he's awaiting for the final interview round as well, which couldn't have happened if it wasn't for this kind of placement opportunity that was there in place. You also have the speed dating option, which is happening once a year. It happens in Munich. It's a good networking session. You also get to meet people from the higher positions and in different companies. So you're able to talk to them, hopefully land an interview, and that converts into a job opportunity as well.
Fantastic. Yes. Thanks a lot, Rohit. Yeah, I would mention this one, and I work in sports, is a fantastic, exclusive, very prestigious opportunity to get a foot in the door. If you are studying in Germany, you can take advantage of the network, travel to Lausanne in the month of May, meet people from the international cycling committee organization. You can meet people from the Olympic Committee. You can meet from UEFA, from FIFA. So it's a very exclusive opportunity, and the reason why I raised that is one of the questions was regarding a student who's done a volleyball player and interested in sports. I think campuses in Barcelona and Munich are really football havens, very famous for their national, well, the club football in both cities, but these are established cities with long histories in sports. So there is an established industry in that way. We actually have a really nice alumni book which we can share with you, which has some testimonies of Indian students, or one in particular, Siddharth Tiwari, who's working in football in Spain. So yeah, we definitely have opportunities in sports. So moving on, let's see if we can go on to the next slide. Yeah. These are some of the companies that were represented at the Talent Day. So I'm not going to go through these now for time's sake, but you recognize all the brands, I'm sure. This is the job platform where exclusive offers and events are made known for our students. So as a student, you have access to this portal. What you will see there are, on the left, for example, the Save Jobs, My Application, Save Events, My Appointments. So you can really manage your schedule. You can manage your job application process from A to Z. You also have access, for example, here it was Tatiana, who was the Geneva counselor. You would have the admissions counselor, the careers counselor for Munich, who will be featuring here on this page. And yeah, for example, you've got this job. Deutsche Bank is recruiting an engineer, and they have a recruitment session, and this was on the 29th of July. So you can register for the event and you can attend that. So there are tools that EU Business School provide you with to help you find jobs. Rohit has already covered this, what we're doing, but obviously in today's environment, we have taken the necessary distancing measures and sanitary measures to ensure your safety. The reality, I would say, is that life needs to go on. We need to understand, that you cannot put everything on hold forever. We need to protect the safety of our students comes first and foremost. But we have flexible intakes, which we'll come to soon, which really underline our commitment to you being able to start your studies in 2021. Reasons to study at EU, we've really touched on many of these, but it's very international, 100 plus nationalities. Rohit said he's got had a South African, a Pakistani, American. Your professors will come from all over the world. Small class sizes taught in English. We do have German language courses. You can take an A1 level, you can take an A2 level of German with us. This is complementary. Then you're looking at the specializations. We have 11 different specializations. Faculty from all around the world, really outstanding individuals. And then, the network, which I spoke about. What are the rankings? We have recently been ranked 42 for our MBA in Europe. And globally, we're in the top 150 for MBA. What I would say is impressive is the fact that our online MBA is number 11, according to QS. And we've got some specializations which are climbing quickly. We've got entrepreneurship, for example, which is in the top 30 worldwide now. So very exciting to see the rankings going up. In terms of exclusive events, we've had, for me, once again, like Rohit said, this was really what is distinguishing EU. I'd say it's a USP. We've had Hublot, we've had Starbucks, Four Seasons, Epiroc, which is obviously a massive Swedish, company, global firm, and that was a fascinating event we had. Ericsson, Google, Doha Bank, Zenit, Tupperware, Goldman Sachs. So this was during the 2020 lockdown. We had the majority of these speakers. Then we also ended November with Adiko. We had Mahindra Group. Obviously, he's well known in India. The chairman of Nestle, Pul Bulka. And then in January, we have Imagine and Gavi. So we have very exclusive events. Any student that is enrolled with us is obviously part of the event. If you are what we call a student that is confirmed his place, but still back in India, waiting for your CV, waiting to start your visa, but waiting to start your program, you have access to these events as well if you confirm your place with us. So this should be a nice carrot for any applicant. In terms of the programs, we've got the bachelor's. It's a 3-year program. It's we work closely with academic partners in Britain, so the Derby and Roehampton, as well as UCAM in Spain. So the program you will take is 3 years, typically 6 semesters, 13 weeks per semester, about 25 hours of class time per week, but plenty of time to work part-time, to see your friends, have a social life. If you knuckle down and work hard, you will get through. We have the degrees on the left, which are offered at all of our campuses except Munich. The one on the far right is really the program I would highlight for any student going to Munich. It's a BSc Honors in International Business. We have those 7 different elective minors. So the degree at the end of the day would be a BSc in International Business with a Certificate of Advanced Studies, a Certificate of Specialization in one of 7 different minors. So you can choose sports management or digital business design and innovation, finance. There's a great range you can choose from. The admission requirements, we look at IELTS 6 as a minimum English score, between 50 and 60% as a minimum in 12th. It's true that we have an internal English exam with an oral recording. So if you have not taken IELTS, you can still apply to EU Business School and the bachelor program. 2 letters of recommendation and an essay. We enjoy seeing your video essays. If you'd like to record yourself talking about one of the 4 topics or 5 topics we give, that would be great. In terms of, we've also got an EBBA for anyone that's got more than 5 years of work experience. You are eligible to go for a master's if you complete this 2-semester program. So this is a great bridging program for people that have skipped kind of formal tertiary education and have gone straight into a career. This is a nice stepping stone to your MBA. We also have a master's, MBA, and MSc. I will focus on the MBA and the MSc because these are the programs we're offering in Munich in Germany. The one on the far left is what we're offering in Spain and in Switzerland. So we've got 11 different majors. So you're looking at international business or communication and public relations, international marketing, global banking and finance, leisure and tourism. There's entrepreneurship, digital business, sports management, HR, design, and blockchain. So Rohit did the sports management major, but it's true that most of our students from India choose international business. They keep it as broad as possible, which I think if you come from an engineering background is a good option, because typically it opens up as many possible avenues for job opportunities. The MSc has the same majors. What is the difference? Well, really the age of the cohort, I would say. You're looking at people that are in their 30s, 40s in the MBA class, the majority in their mid-20s, whereas the MSc, it's typically bachelor graduates that go into the MSc program. We look at 2 years of work experience for the MBA, no work experience required for the MSc. IELTS 6.5 or TOEFL 89 as an entry requirement for the MSc or MBA, or our internal English exam. We obviously look at your bachelor grades. It's a holistic view. So we will look at your career. We'll look at you as an individual, how you express yourself, your essay. So it's a topical essay and 2 letters of recommendation. This is something I wanted to focus on, was the flexible intakes. Normally we only have January and March in the first part of the year. This year we have January, February, April, May. So this is a really fantastic opportunity to start your studies in the first 5 months of 2021. with Mahapavit, we are really focusing on promoting this as well, because we do not want the students to have to wait and postpone their studies forever. So what we've offered is what we call hybrid learning. So you can start your program, and once you get your visa appointment, travel and then join the program on campus. Beforehand, you can either, you've got a choice. You can either join the streamed course on campus, or you can join our full online program for the first until you get your visa. So there's really a lot of flexibility. The last year, we had students doing a couple of courses online. We had some students traveling at different times. So we've had to be very flexible. Our aim is to have students on campus, fully on campus, as soon as safety is there. But at the moment, we need to respect and really take care of our students' safety. So to make things clear, you can apply for the January intake, and if you don't make it in time, you can join on February 22nd. You could aim for April. If you don't make it in time for April 12, you can make it for 17th of May. For the bachelor programs, we've got the 4 intakes per year. So it's end of Jan, May, July, and September. Tuition fees, I will give you the annual or the full program fee. So for the MSc, it's 20,000, just over 20,000 euros for the MSc. For the MBA, it's 22,500. It might be, I think it's 22,500 euros. So it's about 16, 17 lakhs in Indian rupees. Obviously, there's a blocked account that you must put into the equation, as well, of about just under 11,000 euros as well. In terms of the scholarship opportunities, we actually quite excited to offer the possibility for applicants for the first 4 intakes of 2021, what we call an EU Cares scholarship. So this is a 50% reduction on the first term. Now you would definitely need to enroll in one of these 4 intakes. We obviously, we're expecting students to write an additional essay, and also to meet all the regular admission requirements. But this is applicable for the January and March intakes. It also includes the February and April. So those 4 intakes. So it's January, February, April, and May. Those are the intakes. You're eligible for it. How much in monetary terms? Basically, in your first invoice for your first term, it would be a reduction of 3,750 on the MBA, or 3,450 euro scholarship amount on your first term for the MSc. So that is a very attractive option. I've been at EU for 10 years, promoting the business school, working with applicants, and we've never offered scholarships to this attractive. So I would really recommend, if you're considering Germany, you're considering a private institution like EU Business School, with all the advantages it can give you, this is a fantastic opportunity to start in the first part of the year. For bachelor applicants, we are offering what we call a merit-based scholarship. It's actually anywhere up from 10 to 30% for the scholarship. We've put down 20%, as that's pretty much the average. Who are we looking for? We're looking for really merit-based candidates. So people that have done well, have exceptional results at a high school level. Typically students that have an IELTS 6.5 or 7, they're eligible for the bachelor merit-based scholarship. So that's it. We want to wrap it up here and answer any questions. I did see someone raised their hand, and I see some questions that have come in. So I'll let maybe Rohit answer 1 or 2 of these questions as well, and I'll chip in as well.
Yeah, sure. I'll just take some of the question and answer once. And I think the first question that was there about aerospace engineering in Germany.
Yes.
So fun fact. So I did my bachelor's in aerospace and then I came here for MBA. But if you're looking specifically for aerospace engineering and engineering background, then you would have to look at public universities. UBS is a private university, which is basically only a business school. So if you're looking for MSc, BSc programs or MBA, it would be the best place for you to come. And what are the chances of settling permanently, and what are the PR options that are available? So as a student, you are enrolled as a student until you complete your dissertation. So if you're an MBA student, that is up to 18 months. And if you are a bachelor student, your bachelor's course is for 3 years. So until you complete your dissertation, you're going to be a student. And once that is done, you are
Hello? Hello, Mahapavit, do you hear me? Oh, right, we got you back. Okay, I think you could just have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, so PR options are available over here. So once you complete 2.5 years of working in Germany, you're eligible to apply for permanent residency. You also have to show your German proficiency as well, maybe a B1 or B2 level. My best suggestion would be to start learning German while you are in India. Do your A1, A2 in India. It'll take you roughly 6 months, which is the same thing that I did. And once you come here, you can automatically join classes over here and complete your B1 and B2 exams as well.
Super. I'll take another one of the next ones. There's one at the bottom where it's directly addressed to me. So, dear Nick, I have 18 years of experience in IT and 8 in educational management and teaching. I'm looking for a master degree related to IT and management. It's difficult to get an internship or job. Is it difficult to get a job or an internship with 18 years of experience? So, good question. Off the cuff, I would say no. I would say you're probably better positioned than most of the young guys, because you walk into the job market with a willingness perhaps to work your way up, but also with the knowledge and the skill. You have the experience with both in teaching and communicating well with people, as well as the IT technical skills. So you really have the profile for the market. Will you walk into any job like this? That's up to you. I cannot guess what will happen in your future, but I do know that Munich, you're probably better placed in Munich than anywhere else. I have an example of a lady I met in Mumbai. She was 45 years old. She had worked with SAP in Mumbai for 15 years, and she was very concerned about her job opportunities. I had to beg her to finish the program at EU Business School, because she got offered jobs at Zurich, at the the big insurance company. She finally ended up taking a job somewhere else in Germany, in Stuttgart. And she took a bit longer to finish her program because her job was so demanding. So she found a job during her studies. I also have other examples of people in their 40s that have come to Germany with their spouse, and they've found jobs. So we don't really have any concern over whether it's possible or not. It is possible. But it does take the right preparation. I would say if you can make sure that you are actively learning the language, if you can get an A1 or an A2 level before traveling, that's ideal. If you cannot, you can still learn in Germany. We offer the courses on campus, A1, A2. So definitely something to consider. You may have 18 years of experience and feel like, my life is going past so quickly. What should I do? Seize the opportunity. It will be an exciting ride for you, and I'm pretty sure you can build a career in Germany.
I think maybe
please.
I'll take a few questions as well. Some questions about the language in which the studies are taught. It is purely in English. So the university mode of communication is always in English. And when you go out for the job market, there are a lot of English speaking jobs. I cannot stress this enough. There are a lot of English speaking jobs. For example, I have friends who are placed with companies like Allianz, Siemens, Fun with Balls, and a few sporting companies as well. So they do take people who speak only English. But if you know German, maybe B1 or B2 level, that opens up a lot of ample opportunities. It's not going to limit you with just certain companies, because in Germany, most of the companies that hire are the mid-level companies, less than 200, 300 employees, and they do pay very well. But if you know you're German, it's going to open up your avenues into that field of market specifically. Is there any age limit for you to enroll for your MBA, MSc program? No. I've had classmates who are 21, 22 years of age, and classmates who are 40, 45 years of age as well. The only thing that's restricting you is your enthusiasm to come into the program. And you're just going to blend in the second you come in. That is not a doubt.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rohit. What are the chances of settling permanently with residents like PR in Canada? What would you say to that, Rohit?
Yes. As I've said before, there is a very good PR process over here in Germany. Once you get your job, once you started settling in, once you get a job, you have about 23 to 24 months, and then you can apply for your permanent residency. And if you show your Lebens, which is basically your language skill, that you are B1 or B2 proficient, then you can apply for it sooner too. And if your job is a more specialized field, like if you're in a high-end position in a specific industry, then you can apply for a PR much quickly as well. So yes, you can settle over here. If you have joined a couple of Facebook groups already for Indians in Munich, Indians in Germany, you would see a lot of questions about these kind of things. Like people who have applied for permanent residency, like what is the process? What documents do I need? And things like that. And one more question, which I saw related to visa process as well, which is, can I bring my spouse and children over here? Yes, as a student, you can bring your spouse, but you need to show the ample financial sustenance for that. You need to show the German government that you can feed yourself and your family with your own money, and that you don't have to depend on the government for fees. If you can show that, yes, you might as well bring your spouse over here.
Thanks, Rohit. Good. Yeah, once again, I think Rohit and myself, we know of couples that are studying at EU Business School and have successfully come over together. One comes first, and then the second one, that the spouse might come back a little later, but it's certainly possible. I saw one thing I was chatting to Mahapavit about was just giving people a fair understanding of the difference between a state university, a government university, and what EU Business School offers as a private institution. I think it would be an error to only ever look at face value cost. I think maybe Rohit can also underline this. I think many people look at the price tag and then will go for the cheapest option. You really are going to hamstring yourself and make life difficult if you go for the cheapest option, because you're also positioning yourself, you're positioning your career. And so if you choose the cheapest and smallest village in Germany because you think, okay, I found some random college or university and I'm going to study there because it's cheap. Yeah, you can go there, but you really are limiting your opportunities. I think with Munich, you are choosing you're choosing a place which has fantastic opportunities. It is not the cheapest city in Germany, but as I rightly showed you earlier, the salaries are higher than in other cities. The minimum expected wage is much higher than in other cities. Are there job opportunities? Yes. Is it a growing sector? Yes. Is the GDP per capita higher? Yes. So these are very important aspects. Why choose EU Business School? Well, because we can coach you, because we have a focus which you will not find at a state university, where you are left by yourself. And you might be in a group of 50 students or 100 students in your first business lesson, business classes. That's one reason. Another reason as well is that you have to get into German institutions. It's not a piece of cake. With EU Business School, we're really focusing on a community of practical business students that come from diverse backgrounds, and we are there to coach you, to work with you, and help you, achieve your objectives in Germany. So I would say it's the soft skills. I would say it's the network. I would say, it's really this international aspect that you get at EU Business School, which you probably won't get to the same extent at a German, at a state university in Germany.
Yeah, that's so true, Nick. I think I can give an example for this. You might be choosing Berlin or Munich. Berlin is a cheaper place to live. Yes, definitely. Your rent is going to be 400, 450 euros, and you could probably get a good apartment. But your earning capacity is going to be much less over there. But in Munich, while I'm paying a rent of maybe 600 euros, I still am able to save a lot because my earning capacity is more. So right now, once I got a full-time job, I'm able to send at least 70 to 80,000 rupees a month to my house for my family expenses, to clear off my education loan, for other expenses as well. It's a seesaw battle. It's up to you. Do you want to pay a little bit more over here to live, but progressively earn a lot over the years in Munich? Or you want to stay somewhere which is cheap as well? And one more advantage is that university offers an 18-month program, 12 months of your course, and 6 months additionally for you to do your dissertation. Well, if you go for other universities and other cities, it might be a 2-year program, which is going to be much longer, and going to be much longer for you to start landing a full-time job as well. Even the time constraint matters, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. Those are definitely insights that people must weigh up. And in my experience is people sometimes try to skip a beat and get to the cheapest option. But the cheapest face value option is not often the best investment. And that is something you should consider when choosing a destination and a city to study in. So yeah, we've covered most of them. I think there's one which has said, I'm a 48-year-old global logistics supply chain manager. What are the scopes of salary in this? I would say, once again, you're looking at an average salary of 4,200 euros a month in Munich. So you can do the INR calculation, but it's a very attractive first package to be looking at. Someone like yourself, you've got much experience, Mr. Khan, and you will probably work your way up. But that's what I would say. It's not a number which I've invented. This is this is what you'll find online if you start searching for average salaries in Munich. And yep, so that's my answer to you. What is the age limit to admit? There is no age limit. I would say, we've had students up to 50, 40 in their 40s that have applied and in my experience gotten visas. There's one question: what is the most affordable place for Germany for students? I think we covered this question quite carefully earlier. There are cheaper options than Munich. Are they better? That's something you need to decide. Once again, though, there are cheap accommodation options in Munich, and I think this is important to specify. If you are willing to commute a little bit more, to be outside the city, to do some flat sharing, you could find, what kind of prices could you expect to find, Rohit, if you're willing to commute a bit?
Yeah, so when I came new to the city, I chose to live a little farther away, which was like an hour away from the campus, but good transportation, so that was not much of a problem. The rent that I was paying was around 350 euros,
sure,
plus a little bit of radio tax. So 400 euros, and groceries was 50, 60 euros a month. So
sure,
with 500, 550, I could survive. The only thing was it was a little farther away, and I was sharing the place with 5 more people. We all had our individual rooms. But once you move into the city, and if you want your own studio apartment, the university has its own studio apartments as well, which you can easily reserve with us. So that becomes easy, but then the rent is going to be 600, 650 to 800 euros a month. So it depends on your budget.
Yeah, no, excellent. There's one question here from Mr. Carr. I have 11 years of experience and I want to go for a master's in tourism management. My bachelor was less than 50%. Yes, once again, it's your experience which counts. It's true that your bachelor score is low, but if you've been able to build a career and you've done well in tourism, there's no reason why you cannot, make amends as well and apply for the master's program. We will certainly look at your work experience. We'll look at the way you express yourself in your essay. But there's no reason why you cannot, come and study an MSc in tourism, leisure and tourism management, and to build on that in a career in Europe. As I said, the service sector industry is 27% of the German economy, or the Bavarian economy is linked to the service sector. You cannot come and apply.